Iconiq Studios, and I've brought them up pretty often, honestly, pretty frequently, because I really like the work that they're doing and I like the unique things that they're tackling. Whether it's, Muhammad Ali or Silent Hill Pyramid thing / Pyramid Head, or you have Ryu, which has actually released their first figure and people seem to love that one. Well, now they've announced another Street Fighter character where the PO is opening pretty soon. And I'm not the biggest Street Fighter person. I know I played the game when I was younger, but I really don't remember that much about it. But I know people are pretty amped about this release. And I want to get thoughts from the chat on this one as to whether people really are going to pick this one up, because the Ryu seems to be a hit. Everyone seems to be really liking it for the people that do have it. I've even heard Figure of the Year from some people. So this Ken is going to be pretty exciting. Keco, do you know anything about Street Fighter?
Yes, because I told you I wasn't allowed to play Mortal Kombat, so I had to play Street Fighter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So this is this a pickup for you?
No, after I got so hyped when they tried to do the movies a couple times, and then they just like flamed out so hard that I lost interest. As I got older, I just did Zelda, all those different things, switched over to Pokemon, and I just never stayed with Street Fighter. It's such a great classic arcade game, but I've never been like, man, I gotta have. I mean, Blanca's still my boy. I'll probably go with either Blanca or Vega. Those are the guys I really, really love. But no, I mean, I understand how iconic Ken and Ryu are and things like that, but I'm not beating down the doors to say, man, I need the definitive Ken in my collection. But I know there's some people that really do.
And I really like the uniqueness of the body. This looks like, I'm assuming it's probably Ryu's body and they just put Ken on there. It looks very, very similar, maybe slightly different. Someone maybe can point out the differences to me, but the muscular face and build looks pretty close to Ryu. So, or Ryu, however you pronounce it. So I think this is pretty exciting. It's a very unique looking body. Dean, are you a Street Fighter guy? Because I might need an explanation.
I used to be a Street Fighter guy. I used to love the anime growing up. Ryu and Ken are iconic in the world of video games. They're just objectively cool, right? Ryu and Ken are badass.
Yeah.
I don't love Street Fighter enough to have them in my collection, at least in 6 scale. Maybe like a SH Figure Arts or something. In fact, I used to own them. I sold them though. But yeah, these figures are badass, dude. Without question. I know we've interviewed the guy from Iconiq Studios on our channel a couple of times, and he was telling us they worked exclusively with TB League to develop the body for these characters. So I don't know about from Ryu to Ken, but no other figure has Ryu's body. It's not like a generic TB League. It is a totally unique body for Ryu. Ken and Ryu have a similar build, so I bet it's probably just the same body for Ken.
Right.
But that being said, it's been out for how long now, the Ryu?
Yeah, probably a couple months at least, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah, and I haven't really seen anything about the bodies tearing or, having any kind of issue, which is pretty good for, several months out, because, we've seen something like the what are they called? Oh my god, I can't believe it.
Which ones?
Bill and Ted.
Oh yeah, the Blitzway. Yeah,
I mean, that was like a couple weeks.
Those tore immediately. Yeah.
Immediately. Some of the Ahsokas tore immediately. The Wonder Womans have had issues immediely.
Kiko's Ahsoka's arm broke, I know.
Yeah. So, or I was talking about the Clone Wars Ahsoka, but yeah, that did break. So these have been holding up pretty well. He said they did some extensive long-term poses and the body's held up. So, we'll see how that goes, as the time goes on. But
they don't look thin.
I haven't heard any real negatives on the Ken or the Ryu. People have loved it.
Yeah.
So this Ken is a really cool companion piece for that. And I think Iconiq is so far has been killing it.
Well,
So.
we got a really compelling comment I want to share from 1/6 Cave because this is a good talking point here. Iconiq have announced less figures in art and have been around longer, but people aren't as miffed at them as they are in art. I think the sole reason for that is hype. In art has way more hype surrounding them, and they have way more beloved characters than
also.
Right.
Iconiq didn't come out of the gate saying, "Hey, Hot Toys, we're coming for your fucking throat. We're going to be the best."
Which I don't. Did InArt say that though, Dean? I don't know if that's fair because I don't. They
maybe
they acted that way,
with
but they
a
didn't
few
say
less words. But I mean, that's basically.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, they
it's
found
like
the
we're
Hot
here to be
Toys
the top dog.
pain points and said that they are going to do the opposite.
Well, they did also. One of the things I think they did do was make a lot of the same characters. So that was kind of a targeted effort, Dean, where I would agree and say they made Pennywise, they made Robert Pattinson, they made Joker, which that Joker is very old, but they kind of went after some of Hot Toys' recent figures or popular figures and said, okay, let's do it better. So I do understand that, but I don't know if they went as far as saying something like that. But
yeah, Iconiq has been more like, hey guys, we're gonna make some cool stuff. Also, Iconiq's pretty also transparent with things that they're doing. Like, hey, this figure got delayed. This is the reason why. Here are some updates.
Right.
And, they move forward. Whereas InArt was doing that for a while, and then now it's just been radio fucking silence, and you can't get them to speak on anything.
Right. Well, John did come on my show recently and talk about some stuff, Dean. So I got to give him.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, you have to watch that one. Yeah, he came on. What was it, last week or the week before? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he answered a lot of questions, and he talked about the magnetic bases and the hands and stuff. So
yeah, because we asked him questions from back when they did that Las Vegas show, and we're still waiting for answers we never got. So
yeah, because John's usually pretty communicative. Like, so I got to give them credit on that one. But I think InArt, they're trying to do less talking right now. So maybe it's just not what we're used to.
Yeah, I think they said it's a listening year.
Right. So I think that's why we're not used to that from them. They're kind of acting more like Hot Toys right now, where Hot Toys doesn't really communicate as much.
Yeah.
And so
yeah. No, but I think Iconiq, because now they're coming out with their Bateman figure from
American Psycho. Yeah,
that's looking really good. And I think once that figure comes out, because Ryu and Ken, as cool as they are, they're very stylized video game figures.
Right.
But I think once we get the Bateman in hands, people are going to be like, oh, okay, they might take Iconiq a little more serious, which is exactly the question you asked. Like, is it time to take them seriously? And I think once we see that figure, I think 100%.
Well, the one thing too, Dean, I as much as I love my Storm collectibles that I just got, like, I couldn't imagine if they did Mortal Kombat, bro. Iconiq, like if they did Scorpion and Sub-Zero with the fights and bodies, game changer.
I believe he said that they were going to focus a lot on video games and franchises from video games. So, dude, I mean, it's totally possible. I mean, you got the Mortal Kombat. Who does that one?
Storm Collectibles.
Storm Collectibles.
And they're really good besides the joints. They're great other than that.
Right.
But you just have to pose them a certain way. But yeah. Anyway, we'll see, guys. Let us know in the chat below what you think about Iconiq. Hey, there's someone to pay attention to. They're doing some pretty interesting, cool stuff.